Okay, expenditure limits. So we have different companies under common control. So I'm talking about this company called All Color Chemicals. It's a great example of this whole thing. What happened was they had 2 Canadian shareholders who owned 25% of the shares each, and 1 US shareholder down in California who owned 50%. The definition of a Canadian-controlled private corporation, again, 248 sub 1 of the Act, says it's not controlled by any combination of foreign parties or public companies. 50-50 is a concept of no control, and that's accepted in the Act. So that's still not controlled by foreign parties. So on the face of it, what they call de facto or voting control, 50-50 is not control. The problem with All Color Chemicals is there's another kind of control that the Act contemplates. That means you don't actually have voting control, but if we look at the facts, you have what they call de facto or factual control, that you're acting as if you control it. So what they did is they looked at transactions, and somehow during the SR&ED review, the reviewer became privy to certain information, like that the US director in the United States had fired the head of R&D and replaced him with someone else during the year, and some other transactions. And he didn't say, I recommend we fire the head of R&D. Do one of you two agree? He just did it. Okay? Courts agree to share it. That's clear evidence of factual control. You're not sharing, you're control the company. You're not a Canadian-controlled private corporation. You don't get the enhanced credits, right? And the company lost $140,000 in cash. So small company, bad situation, but you just want to be aware of it. So the company's Mimitex. Okay. One thing, I've got a bit of time. I won't go too much into that. But people often confuse the difference between associated common control, related companies, and connected companies. So if anyone wants to talk about that later, we'll talk about it. But just the criteria there and the tax effects. I like to go into that because associated actually means controlled. You control the company. You don't have significant influence. You control it. You make it do what you want. Usually more than 50% of the votes. Okay, so if I'm a 50-50, I'm a specified employee, but I'm still arm's length. I don't control the company. So that's a very different position.